Could a second space race to the moon help humanity usher in a new era of peace? Well, today we're over the moon with positivity.
Wildlife safety is thriving, cats are getting comfortable, and even the sea is seeing some success. Coming to you on the Feel Good Fastlane, your quick ride to a world that doesn't suck.
We're your hosts, Elliot Chaparelli
and Joy Shanti Watkins.
It's been almost 2 weeks since the Artemis 2 crew safely splashed down in the Pacific after flying to and around the moon. And we're all moving on way too quickly. So before we forget all about this historic mission, I want to tell you about the overview effect. When astronauts fly into Earth orbit and beyond, their perspective on all of humanity changes. They see the Earth against the vastness of space. They see the Earth without borders. They see their home with all of humanity except themselves. And this makes them feel more human, more connected with all of humanity, and more protective of our fragile home planet. But don't listen to me. Unfortunately, I haven't yet been to space. Hear it from perhaps the most inspiring person on the Artemis 2 mission, NASA astronaut Christina Koch. In the post-mission press conference, Koch and the crew described how close they had become and how they supported one another.
Honestly, what struck me wasn't necessarily just Earth, it was all the blackness around it. Earth was just this lifeboat hanging undisturbingly in the universe. There's one new thing I know, and that is planet Earth. You are a crew. Yeah. Thank
you. Wow, she's so cool. The overview effect has brought humanity together since the Apollo missions. Apollo 11 astronaut Michael Collins said, "I really believe that if the political leaders of the world could see their planet from a distance of 100,000 miles, their outlook would be fundamentally changed." In an age of technology that far exceeds what previous astronauts had on their lunar journeys, the Artemis 2 crew brought back with them some of the highest resolution photographs ever taken of the moon and our planet. They also give us near minute-by-minute updates of their journey. Hopefully these photos, as well as firsthand accounts from these amazing astronauts, can help us all experience the overview effect. This mission brought back extreme amounts of joy, an emotion that Mission Control coined as moon joy. The world could use a bit of moon joy right now. But for today, here's a bit of Earth joy. Joy Shanti signed off on that pun, by the way. It's far from her first Joy reference, but I appreciate her letting me enjoy the moment.
One of the most beautiful things about planet Earth is how animals and people coexist. But sometimes those worlds collide, especially on the road. But the good news, there's a ton of solutions currently in place to reduce any further collisions. The Colorado Department of Transportation recently completed construction of the largest wildlife overpass in North America. The Greenland Overpass is a bridge located on I-95 in Larkspur, Colorado, and no vehicles are allowed. The overpass is 200 feet wide and connects 39,000 acres of natural land, so moose, elk, black bears, and mountain lions are able to safely pass the 6-lane highway without being in danger. It's expected to reduce wildlife vehicle crashes by 90%, and this is part of a much bigger movement. In the Netherlands, for over 3 decades, nearly 3,000 crossings have been built for deers, foxes, and smaller animals to travel safely. Around the world, crossings have been built to cater specifically to the animals that inhabit those areas. So there's a crab bridge in Australia, a penguin underpass in New Zealand, an elephant underpass in Kenya, and there are even a ton of squirrel bridges currently being built across the United States. In Los Angeles County, the Liberty Canyon Wildlife Corridor was built to support the isolated mountain lion population. It was originally the largest overpass in the world, but now the Greenland Overpass in Colorado has taken the #1 spot. But it's not a competition. It's all in the spirit of safety for animals and for people. Back to Elliot with a deep dive into the sea.
This is a seagrass meadow. Lush marine plants thrive in shallow coastal waters. They create beautiful nurseries for marine life, they're habitats for biodiversity, they filter and improve water quality, they prevent coastal erosion, and they're one of the world's largest and most important carbon sinks. And they're finally starting to get the protection and recognition they deserve. seagrass conservation and restoration efforts have seen renewed interest and success this year. A recent study out of UC San Diego's Scripps Institute of Oceanography saw huge success in transplanting seagrass to an area off of Catalina Island in California. Within a year of planting new eelgrass, the area functioned like a natural seagrass meadow, with all the benefits I just described. Within 2 years, it was functioning even better than some natural meadows. In the UK, The Guardian just featured a story on sea gardeners. Scientists and volunteers have been working to plant 10 hectares of seagrass off the coast of northern Wales. They've seen successes as well as some setbacks, but they're all committed to the project. In fact, Wales is the first country in the world to have a national action plan on seagrass. They hope to restore the equivalent of 266 rugby pitches of Welsh seagrass by 2030. Seagrass meadow restoration efforts are in place and growing all over the world. A recent baby dugong sighting showed success of seagrass meadow conservation in Indonesia. High-resolution satellite imagery showed thriving meadows in the Tanyan Strait in the Philippines, and Indigenous Australians are helping restore seagrass in Shark Bay, Australia. Things are truly looking up even from below the waves. Back to Joy Ashanti to close us out with a story about some of my favorite New Yorkers.
Quick question. When you think of New York City culture, what comes to mind? For me, it's bacon, egg, and cheese, subway drama, Broadway, and Bodega Cats. There are endless videos and photos online of these lovable felines across the boroughs. There's also a documentary project and community called the Bodega Cats of New York, also known as BCONY. They're dedicated to protecting and supporting these cats through local legislation, veterinary support, and establishing designated in-store spaces for the cats to live. Well, these designated spaces are getting an upgrade. BCONY is partnering with the pet lifestyle brand Leisure to provide self-cleaning litter boxes for stores across New York City. This initiative will help store owners with maintenance while also providing a cleaner and healthier environment for the cats. The founder of BCONY, Dan Ramada, said, quote, "Bodega cats are an essential part of New York City culture, but they're also working animals who deserve proper care and protection. Initiatives like this make it easier for small business owners to provide a clean, safe environment for the cats that help keep their stores running," end quote. This initiative sounds pretty perfect. Pun totally intended. There's your bite-sized biteness for the day. Short stories that will leave you feeling good and knowing good fast.
Puddin', you want to help me throw it to Joy? And the Bodega kitties? No, she's so not interested.